Virgo, and welcome to your reading. If you are a Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, then this is where you need to be. You may have noticed we're doing a couple things differently. First of all, we are doing a frontal vision. I've just been having issues with the setup for overhead, and as much as I prefer doing that, I've been having issues with it. It cuts a lot off, I feel like, and I want to wait till I get a camera extender, and until then we're doing a frontal view. And the other thing you're going to notice that is different is that there is not going to be music playing in the background from this point forward. Even if I can't hear the music, I keep getting pinged for copyright infringement. So we're just not going to do that no more. I can't leave the music alone, however, so I still have it playing on my computer next to me. It's just muted. So if I happen to look over and a lyric pops out that I think is relevant, or the song I feel like is relevant, I'm still going to play it out to you guys. We are doing the typical overview, love, career, and health. And then we are also using the Moon Oracle deck, and we are using the Rebel deck with the answer scenario format. I think it's really fun, so that's what we're going to do. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at your overview for the month of November. Okay, so we have Death coming out in the reverse. That is card number 13, Scorpio energy. We have the Nine of Pentacles coming out reversed. That is Virgo energy. That card has come out a lot in the readings overall, which is one of the reasons I always stress that you guys look at your sun, moon, and rising, partially so you can see the overview, the overall picture, and to see if there's anything that keeps popping up, any patterns. And if any sign can notice patterns, it is you guys. So what else do we have here? We have the Lovers, Gemini energy, card number 6. Okay. Ironically, Savior by Rise Against just started, and it really reminds me of, the song reminds me of someone trying to break out of a codependent relationship, but it's actually the person with the addiction speaking, saying, you can't save me. I don't know if that is at all relevant to you, but we're going to go ahead and just go forward with your reading. So, when I set down the Death in Reverse card, I thought about how the Death in Reverse often can indicate a resistance to change. I would say earth signs in general are a little stubborn. Like, it's just a trait. I think of all the earth signs, Virgo is maybe the least stubborn one, but you guys are still stubborn, right? Especially because you guys have a hard time admitting when you're wrong or when you're doing something wrong, because you hold yourself at such a high standard that you feel a lot of shame usually associated with being wrong or with the fact that you need to change something, which in my humble opinion, like, you're not being fair to yourself. Everyone changes, everyone grows. Like, if we don't grow, that's far worse than admitting we're wrong, right? So that's popping out with the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. Sometimes I've been, like, all these readings, some of them I've been interpreting it as getting away from being super independent, in fact being super dependent. In your case, it's making me think of hyper independence that's to the point of your own detriment. It could be with the Lovers here that you're maybe becoming overly dependent on someone to... Oh, okay, I'm gonna take that back a little bit. So actually no, you're having a hard time changing because you have someone who literally, like, whatever harmful behavior that you have, whatever coping mechanism that you have, if you have one that's getting out of hand, you have someone that enables it. Now, it doesn't have to be like a serious coping mechanism like, drugs or drinking or anything like that. It could be workaholism. It can be gambling. It can be you love shopping a little too much. It can be that you cope by finding the smallest speck of dust and zeroing on it, but like your house can never be not perfect. There is some way in which that you cope, and you seem very okay from an outside perspective, but in actuality, there is someone, because the thing about this particular lover's card is it's a succubus, right? And it just has always looked far more insidious to me than any other lover's card I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of decks. And yeah, this one just looks, it looks, in the original tarot, the original Rider-Waite-Smith tarot, the Lover's card shows the two people looking at each other and like an angel or a godlike figure in the background, right? And the card looks honestly quite similar to the Devil card. They look incredibly similar to each other if you're paying attention to just overall outline of the card, if that makes sense. Um, the thing about the Lover's card is the way it was originally interpreted is a choice between something that is much more pure and good for you and something that represents lust. That's the original meaning of the Lover's card. Whenever I see this one in particular, I always, it feels to me like the choice is made. Choosing the thing that is not actually good for us, whether that be, some kind of coping mechanism that we are chained to, though I feel like that would be more the Devil card itself, whether it be choosing a person who is more an object of lust than an object of love, um, or choosing the person who doesn't actually care about us but we feel overly attached to. Um, yeah, I just feel like you're coming to terms this month with the fact that you are in some way codependent with another person and there needs to be a change. But you're having difficulty making the change. But let's get more cards. Because I can't really say for sure whether or not I see you actually making the necessary change. What I do see is you becoming super aware of it. You can't ignore it anymore. You can't make up excuses for it anymore. You can't fool yourself anymore. That is very apparent. But let's take a look at your answer and scenario card and then your moon oracle and see if we can get a little bit more guidance as far as all this is concerned. Okay, wow, that came right out. Okay, so you have two scenario cards. Stress is affecting me. Blank will help me to calm down. I am ready to start something new and scary. Blank will give me a push to get going. Okay, so considering the statements on these scenario cards, I do see you making the necessary changes. You might just feel a little overwhelmed by what the changes that you have to make. If it's a person, if it is a person, one of the things I will say about Virgos, and I say this with love and light, you guys are fine on your own. You're very okay on your own. However, once you guys get into relationships and attachments, many of you, just in my own observation, have a hard time separating yourself from that person because you put it entirely on yourself to make that relationship work and to figure out how you need to mold that person in order to still have the person, but with the changes that you want. You really kind of, you guys tend to want to have your cake and eat it too in relationships. Because very similar to like a Pisces, for example, you guys kind of do, your Venus sign is gonna, nuance this a bit, but most Virgos that I've met do tend to fall for people who like just look like they're trying so damn hard. They just need a little bit of help, or they need someone to come in and make a practical change for them, or they need someone to come in and be daddy or mommy a little bit, because you guys do have that earth energy, right? Um and often due to that, you guys end up in toxic relationships, and again, you end up putting it on yourself to make it work. A relationship isn't a one-way street. It's a two-way street. We'll see what the cards have to say about your love and relationships portion, but yeah, I just felt the need to point that out to you guys. So, let's start with the first one. Stress is affecting me. Oh, Jesus, that's 4 cards. I'm not taking all of those. Okay, we'll try that again. Stress is affecting me. Blank will help me calm down. Stress is affecting me. Blank will help me calm down. We have laughing my ass off. So watch some comedy. Listen to music that is more parody, satire. Go see a comedy if that's something that you're capable of doing. Spend time with friends and like play some goofy board games or card games or whatever. Definitely finding reasons to laugh at things. And you guys are already kind of good at that because you notice details. So you notice all the weird little things that people do, and you're like, did you really do that? And, it's not hard for you guys to find something to laugh about. So, yeah, definitely laughter is the best medicine for you in November. And then we have, I'm ready to start something new and scary. Blank will give me a push to get going. 2 cards popped out. I'm going to go ahead and just take both of them. Learning more about my astrology, numerology, or personality type. Oh no, are some of you converting away from pure logic? I mean, kind of, because you're here, right? And then admitting I don't have all the fucking answers. Damn, Virgo. Spirit's coming for you today. Holy shit. And those two really go hand in hand. Like, so some of you might be getting like a lot more into the esoteric, a lot more into the metaphysical, and realizing like, hey, logic doesn't answer everything. Science doesn't answer everything. There's something more out here and I can't explain it, so I guess the universe, explain it to me. I do not personally do numerology very much, and I don't personally do personality type very much, but I actually have had people pay me to go over their natal chart before. If that's something you're interested in, I can totally do that for you. You can also look up free videos yourself. And, if I'm getting into a part of the chart that I feel like I don't know incredibly well, I'm going to tell you. But yeah, you can watch free videos on YouTube. One in particular I'm gonna plug, Soul and Vibration. She literally has done a video for every single part of the chart, no matter what you got. She's done a video for all of it. So you can literally find the videos for like all of your houses, all of your planets, and just spend a day watching it and just put that shit together. She does that. I personally watch her videos just for myself. The thing I always tell people is astrology is kind of like once you start to really get into it, astrology is the blueprint. It's the blueprint for your personality. It's it shows you it's a good representation of who you were and who you were meant to be before life came in and traumatized you. It's the nature part of the nature nurture. Um, my brain keeps saying diagram. That's not the word I wanted, but it's the word we're going with. So yeah, getting into astrology, numerology, looking at your personality type, watching some comedy, really finding other ways to deal and to have answers. So that was not on my bingo card for today. It really was not. So let's go ahead and oh, let's look at your moon oracle. I totally forgot. I'm gonna have to rewatch this video. I'm sorry. Oh, I love picking on you guys because like you're such realists, but to a degree that it's a little bit funny. Okay, Moon Oracle card, Spirit, Moon Oracle. We're getting all kinds of advice for you. All right. So we have Adapt and Compass. These cards actually go together really well. So this is card number 1, Adapt. My instincts keep me adaptable in the face of any obstacle. Has a little, what is that? A fox. It has a little fox on it and some mushrooms. Maybe those are symbols for you. Brown. Brown is a nice, safe, comfy color. And then we have card number 22. My inner compass knows the way. That's a pink there. So these cards, ironically, the ritual for these cards, they both involve taking a walk. The Adapt card talks about going on a walk for meditative purposes, not letting yourself get into your head and not listening to anything. You are paying attention to what you are. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. You're paying attention to what you can see, what you can smell, what you're hearing, your breathing, the movement of your body, the feeling of your feet hitting the pavement, things like that. Okay? Compass is about taking a walk or a bike ride or a drive with no particular destination in mind. You're literally just listening to the urges of your body. Where do I feel like I want to go? What turn do I feel like I want to take? I really feel like if you wanted, you could do both of these together. Take a meditative walk somewhere with no destination in mind. Do it like once a week or something. It's getting cold, so I understand that depending on where you live, you know, you might be like, tree cat, it's getting cold, bitch. Like, just do it. Just, it's spirit prescribed, so just do it. But yeah, I think walking is a great way to get out of your head, honestly, and it works really well for specific moon signs. Like if you have a fire moon, movement is a great way to deal with unhelpful thoughts and emotions. Um, but yeah, well, hell, like even like no matter whether you are a Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, I mean, you are ruled by Mercury, so this will still help you with all that overthinking that you do because really it kind of doesn't matter which of those three it is, you suffer from some overthinking. So yeah, go on a walk. Wear some brown maybe. If you're a woman, wear some, if you identify as a woman, wear some pink. If you are a very secure man, wear some pink. Those are very like cozy colors in my opinion. So we are now going to get into the tarot for your love and relationships, career and finances, and health and spirituality. So love and relationships for Virgo in November, please. Oh, okay. 2 cards fell right out, so we're taking those. 3 cards. Okay. So we have the Ace of Wands coming out with the, oh, in reverse, by the way, coming out with the Sun in reverse. That's card number 19. Leo energy. Coming out with the Four of Wands in the up hand. That's Aries energy. This is all fire. Something definitely has your passion going in a good way or a bad way. Four of Wands does indicate a reunion. Four of Wands indicates a reunion, but the Ace of Wands does kind of suggest, it's in the reverse, it does suggest a lack of confidence or a lack of virility. That word's been popping up in my own sphere a lot. And then with the Sun in the reverse, there is some unhappiness here. I don't know if you're walking away from someone and then walking into another person by the end of November. The Lovers, like I said earlier, it is about a choice. So I don't know if maybe you're starting November in one connection, realizing how much it's draining you, it's burning you out, it's not good for you, it ends. You end that, you go through a period of really deep unhappiness, really deep depression, and then by the end of November you have a reunion with somebody. I don't know. Or if you're single, it could be that the person that you want to get back together with, that they're actually not going to be as good for you as you're already thinking. They're not going to be as good for you as you want them to be. They're not going to be as good for you as you're thinking they're going to be. I feel like that's one of those ones that you really need to use some discernment in terms of which one that indicates. Because your moon oracle cards do use words like inner compass, instincts, things like that. And we also have astrology, numerology, personality type, admitting I don't have all the fucking answers, things like that. I really want you to, in terms of your connections, I really want. Hold up. I didn't even notice this. I've had this deck for over a year. I've never noticed this tiny ass little fairy over here in the corner. I'm always looking at this one. I'm always looking. Oh my god. Maybe, okay, so maybe this is talking about that choice. Maybe you are feeling depressed and confused and unmotivated because there's 4 fucking fairies here and I never noticed. I'm sorry. But okay, so maybe what it is that you are really in these negative emotions because you've spent so much time staring at this one person, this one fairy, that you either they're not good for you or they encourage negative traits or they encourage negative behavior. You've been so focused on this person that you haven't noticed these other people who care about you because you're so focused on them. They, kind of are the star of the show for you. And so maybe that's what it is. I think that's what it is for most of you. You're walking away from someone who you feel a strong attraction to, you feel a strong magnetism to. It doesn't have to be romantic or sexual, but it's someone that you feel very strongly drawn to, but you know they're not good for you. And maybe it's not something you know up here. Maybe it's something you know in here, in your gut or in your heart. Your body knows they're not good for you. And you're going away from that person and you're suddenly noticing there's these other people here and they actually care about me. There's these other people here and they like me, they want what's best for me. I don't have to be inauthentic around them. I don't have to do things that are really not good for me around them. I don't have to act a certain way around them. Maybe that's what's happening for you at the end of November. You're actually deciding to walk away from someone who is just not good for you, no matter how you bend it. They're not good for you, and you're suddenly, by the end of November, you're like, I had all these connections that I wasn't nourishing. I had these friends that I was ignoring. Or maybe even a potential partner that you were ignoring. That's a trip. I'm sorry, that's a trip. Holy crap. Okay, we're gonna move on now to your career and finances. I know the death card's in reverse, but it looks like you're going to go through a transformation whether you like it or not. It could be that you're going through a transformation kicking and screaming. It could be that's what you're doing. Career and finances for Virgo, please. Career and finances for Virgo. The Star. Okay, we like that. That is card number 17. Okay. We have the Ten of Wands. Oh, also the Star is Aquarius energy. Ten of Wands is Sag energy. And it's not a tarot reading unless Jen drops cards. We have the World in reverse, and that is card number 21. Okay. God, you would be extra, wouldn't you? So, let's see, we have two Sag cards here in your career and finances. So maybe a Sagittarius or someone with Sag energy is very important in terms of your career and finances this month. One of the things that I'm just immediately noticing when I'm looking at, so the Four of Wands is at the end of your love and relationships reading, and the Star card is the beginning of your career and finances. So they're right next to each other. Just kind of looking at how they look. They look like they're kind of coming together in a sort of way. I don't know if you know a lot of your coworkers on a personal level. Maybe many of your friends also happen to be coworkers. I feel like there's some intermingling in these two areas of your life, especially in November. So with the Star card, you are realizing that you are in the correct place. You are feeling like you're on the right track. And you're feeling very good about yourself in terms of your money or your career. With the Ten of Wands, however, Ten of Wands often suggests burdens. The Ten of Wands suggests burdens, and the World in reverse does talk about resisting the completion of a chapter of your life. I don't know if you've been contemplating a career change. And it would make sense if, like, you find some of your coworkers distracting and disheartening, even. The Ten of Wands with the Star is just such opposite energy. It really is. Maybe the reason that you are, so maybe you're thinking about a career change, or maybe people have mentioned to you that maybe you should be doing something different. And maybe your the reason you are resisting the completion of that chapter of your life is because while it is super burdenous, it makes you feel good about yourself. Maybe you have a position of status. Maybe you make a lot of money. And I did say earlier that one of the things about Virgos is like you guys do have a tendency to put way too much on your plate. You pile your plate way too high. And maybe you've been kind of fooling yourself into like, I can make this work, I can make this work. I don't see anything happening to you if you stay in a career that you are wondering if you should. We don't have the tower here. I just feel like Spirit wants to urge you to, if you've already thought about it, Spirit wants to urge you to go ahead and make a change. Even if you're kind of scared of it. That could be an area in which you are resisting growth because maybe it doesn't really do much for your soul. Like maybe, oh, with the star card, it could make you feel good in very surface level, egoic ways. But it doesn't really do much for your soul. It doesn't really do much for you in terms of like, there's just a difference, between a job that you go there, you do a good job, you make some money, you get along with people, but it doesn't light you up. It doesn't light you up. It doesn't make you want to come back and do it again. Like, it's just a good job, is what it is. It's not a passion. It's not. It doesn't do anything for you on anything but a surface level. And I think Spirit feels that it's time for you to turn your attention towards something that actually does more for you on a soul level, that does more for you in terms of a passion. I don't think that change is coming by the end of November. I don't see that. Again, this is kind of like, your overarching reading was you having realizations more than taking concrete action. So maybe you're thinking, oh yeah, like it'd be great to do something I'm passionate about, but you have no idea what you would do, or you have no idea how you would go about it. This is the month that you figure that out, I think. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and move it over to the health and spirituality portion of your reading. Your reading is officially now the longest one. It's because you got all those extra cards. Okay. We have the Knight of Wands in the uphand. That is Sagittarius and Scorpio energy. You're getting a lot of Sagittarius, I feel like. Maybe a Sagittarius is really important this month in general. And then we have the Six of Cups in the reverse, so that's more Scorpio energy. This is the Sag Scorpio month. So it could just be meaning that November is a month that you not actually reinvent yourself, but make the plan to do so. Because, we're talking about a lot of things here. We're talking about ending certain connections and going towards other ones. We're talking about going away from a job that pays well, but doesn't do anything for you. and going towards something that does a little bit more for you, makes you feel like life is worth living. Um, and then with health and spirituality, the Knight of Wands in the uphand, but the Six of Cups in the reverse. So the Knight of Wands is a passionate energy. He does go towards what lights him up. He does go towards what makes him feel passionate, things that he feels strongly about. The Six of Cups in the reverse, however, it talks about things in our past that are painful and traumatic and that haunt us. You could be going ahead and dealing with something that is in your past that you never dealt with before. So it's making you go through a lot of different emotions. That's one way I could interpret the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Um, I'm sorry, the Knight of Wands in the uphand. I don't know why I said in the reverse. But yeah, there's something in your past that is making you kind of go through it a little bit, but he literally has a smile on his face. You're going to go through it a little bit with whatever it is you need to deal with. Maybe it's something you've been avoiding, but you're going to be fine. I think whatever it is that you need to deal with isn't going to be as bad as you thought. The other thing with the Knight of Wands coming out with the Six of Cups in reverse, it could be that whatever it is in your past that you decide to reconcile. That wasn't the word I wanted. Okay. Whatever it is in your past that you decide to deal with, it could make you aware of something that you feel passionate about. It could make you aware of something that you care very strongly about. Um, a lot of people who do have a passion, it does come from something in their childhood or their teenagehood. Sometimes something in their young adulthood, depending on how old you are while you're watching this. Um, a lot of people who like become therapists or counselors, many of them go into it because they themselves have struggled with their mental health. People who turn towards the arts do it because the arts in some way saved them, or it was a way that they could communicate their emotions that they had a hard time doing it otherwise. Many people, go into more dangerous jobs like being a police officer or a firefighter because maybe there's other people in your family that did it. Maybe you had a really tough run of it when you were younger, did some things you regret, and you want to give back to your community. Different people have different reasons for going towards vocations. When we have a job for the sake of having a job, for the sake of paying our bills, we're doing it only because we need to pay our bills. We're not. My 9 to 5 job is grocery retail. That's what I do. I don't love it. I don't have a passion for it. Like, the closest thing I have to a passion for it is I think everyone deserves the right to eat. I think every single person who comes through my line deserves to leave with their food. Does that make me approach my job in a specific way because I have that value that everyone has the right to eat? Yes. I don't wake up any day like, I want to go to my grocery retail job. Like, I don't wake up like that. I do this. I write poetry. Those are the things I am passionate about. What the burden you could be dealing with is maybe you realize what you are passionate about and it's something from your childhood, and it just strikes up this fire in you. There is a bit of fire energy, and then even Scorpio, like of all the water signs, is the most fire like water sign. Maybe you're not used to feeling passion. With the burden card, with burdens, with 10 of Wands, it could be that you figure out something that you're passionate about, you want to go towards it, but you can't quit your job, so you have to do both. That could be what that is indicating. And then when you get to a point to where you can actually leave your regular job and just make whatever you're passionate about work for you, as you know how you put food on the table, then the world will turn up hand. Now you're at a point of completing one chapter and moving into a new one. um that's all I have for you, though. I know this was a very long reading, significantly longer than the other ones. I did not expect it to be this way, but I just read the cards and tell you what is popping into my brain. Um, Thank you for your patience if you made it this far. You're gonna have a really great month, Virgo. You're going to be a different person by the end of November than you were when you started it, and that's always exciting. So thank you for coming to your reading. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Even if you're unhappy with me, you may comment about that too. Go on over and poke around at the other readings to see what else I have for you. And I will see you again soon. Be good, be safe, and love and light to you. Bye!